In a Chinese-designed palace that seems to be located in another world, a meeting between elders is being held. Now that the demons are revived, the vanguard army has lost contact. 1,300 immortals have fallen, and the whereabouts of the demon world are unknown. One of them mentions that the situation is critical and asks who the elders think should be sent as an undercover agent. They go through the options on the table one by one, but no one is qualified for this important task. Suddenly, one of them says that since all the elders are hesitant, he has a candidate. His candidate is Tang Chuan. Hearing this, the elders become shocked. As for that scumbag Tang Chuan, I wouldn't agree even if he were killed. Encourage all the immortals to peek at Chang taking a bath. Take the lead in stealing the Queen Mother's flat peaches. These are the words of the elders to disqualify Chuan. The one who suggested him asks them if they have any more suitable candidates than him. But their silence and face show that they don't have anyone in mind. In the Dragon Kingdom Unified Association headquarters, a person tells the people who have bowed before him that he is very disappointed in them. He mentions that they are big bosses who used to dominate one side, and asks why they are so cowardly. He is Tang Chuan. Many attractive and sexy girls surround him. He warns them that if somebody wants to kill him, they should act quickly, and this is their last chance. One of them tells the person in front of him, Jin Qianhu, that he is a 9th-degree black belt in Taekwondo, so he should do this. But he asks him with a scared and sweaty face to shut up because Tang Chuan may kill him. This guy started from scratch. It only took 2 years to unify all underworld gangs in the Dragon Kingdom. No one knows how he did it. It's really boring and useless for him to give them a chance. Hearing his insults, they have no choice but to remain silent. One of the girls around him tells him to pamper her if he is tired. He grabs the girl's chin and asks her if she got impatient so soon. But the other girls pull her away from Chuan and tell him that they agreed to pamper others first can't wait. Conquer the unification of the 6 kingdoms and become the emperor through the ages. Laughing proudly in the martial arts world. He thought that challenging a national gangster would experience some setbacks, but the result is so boring. The wildest men knelt down, and the most beautiful women lay down. However, Chuan is still bored. Meanwhile, the girls are still fighting over him. These days, it's still boring, and more boring things are coming. While Chuan is thinking about these, suddenly a strange light fills the room, and a beautiful girl with big breasts appears. She is Ning Sixing, the 4-star Shuangxian, and pays respect to Senior Tang Chuan, the 8-star Jingxian. I think you guys want to see this scene again.
Nice.
Seeing her, Chuan pushes all the girls away. He left the immortal world 3,000 years ago and hasn't had any contact with them for so many years, so it's a question for him why she is looking for him now. Ning Sixing says that there is a major issue in the immortal world, and the immortal emperor asked him to return to the immortal world as soon as possible. But could the immortal emperor have made a mistake? How can he still be so young after living for 3,000 years? Could it be that he is a liar? He asks her who the immortal emperor is with a look full of suspicion and confusion. She replies that it is an 8-star Yuanxian named Dao Qing. Tang Chuan remembers that Dao Qing was once a kid who insisted on learning the method of double cultivation from him. He never expected him to become the immortal emperor. Also, he recalled that when he was exploring the mysteries of life with his old friend Dao Qing, this kid was very righteous and protected him from being struck by lightning for hundreds of years. So he decides to go back to repay this favor. Ning Sixing opens a portal to the immortal world and respectfully asks him to enter the portal. But on the other hand, Chuan asks her in a mocking tone if this is a portal or a dog hole. He doesn't want to go back through that. He waves his hand, saying, "Come my way," and creates a big and luminous portal. Once he returns to the immortal world, Dao Qing welcomes him and tells him how much he missed him. Tang Chuan is surprised that he is so old, and he reminds him that he taught him the 3 moves of rejuvenation and longevity before he left. At the same time, Ning Sixing is confused after hearing these words. Dao Qing indirectly tells him that it turned out that Tang Chuan was caught stealing Wang Mu's peaches and violating heavenly laws by peeking at Chang taking a bath in the past. If anyone finds out, he would definitely get punished for using his immortal technique. Then he asks him to hurry up and tell him what business Dao Qing has with him. He explains that something big has happened. The demon world has revived. But this question arises for Tang Chuan. Didn't the decisive battle 3,500 years ago completely wiped out the power of the demon world? How can it be revived? And the demon god was captured by Chuan himself. How did he escape? In response, he says that the demon god is still in prison. But half a year ago, they discovered signs of recovery in the demon world, so they organized an army of immortals to go out, intending to completely wipe out the forces of the demon world. It was going well, almost found the demon cultivator's lair. But just 2 days ago, the expeditionary force suddenly disappeared without a trace. All 1,300 immortals above Xuanxian disappeared. He suspects the demon world has regained its heyday of power, poses a serious threat to the immortal world. With a grumbling face, Chuan asks if he called him back to help him fight. With a smile, Dao Qing says that only he, the boss, can turn the tide. However, he turns and walks away, saying that he isn't interested and can't help. Dao Qing kneels and pleads that it's definitely a supreme merit to be able to defeat the demon world again. The holy world is definitely waiting to accept it, and they have received reliable news that most of the immortals were not killed, but captured, and only Tang Chuan can save them. But he mentions that life and death have fate, the way of heaven has permanence, and continues walking. Then Dao Qing asks if he didn't always say that he wanted to taste the taste of a female demon cultivator. Hearing this word, he stops. It seems that the female demon cultivator is a bit interesting to him. He says that it's a bit of a pity that the last war ended in a daze. Dao Qing increases his efforts, saying that the female demon cultivators are all hot. It's definitely worth it for Chuan to make friends with them. Ning Sixing, who is behind them, hears everything. The merits of saving the 3 realms and the lives of thousands of immortals are not as attractive as making friends with a female demon cultivator, and wonders if it is okay to entrust the fate of the 3 worlds to this kind of person. Meanwhile, Dao Qing wants to introduce the situation to Chuan, but he says that there is no need to introduce, and he just kills the current leader of the demon world. He explains that he has 2 tasks. First, he has to enter the demon world as a demon cultivator living in the human world, then find a way to get in touch with the upper echelons of the demon world and find out how they recovered. Only in this way they can annihilate them in one fell swoop and avoid future troubles forever. Second, the captured immortals are all used as secondary weapons by the demon cultivator, so he must try to rescue them. Upon hearing this, he shows his interest in becoming an undercover agent. Dao Qing asks him to let Ning Sixing take him to the immortal library to pick up some divine weapons. It's dangerous to go to the demon world, so he wants him to bring more high-quality divine weapons to be prepared. But he refuses and asks him to wait for his news. Dao Qing wants to give him the contact information, but before he can do so, Chuan opens a portal and leaves. It turns out that after entering the demon realm, it's no longer possible to open the channel like this, so Qing worries about how he is going to contact them. He's in the forest, and it looks like he found the right place. There is a population of demons in front of him. Demons are celebrating their revival. They want to defeat the immortal world and avenge their revenge. While he's in the population, the demon's leader explains that in order to prevent immortal world undercover agents from infiltrating the demon world and ensure that everyone is in the same way as the demon, they have specially arranged 5 assessments for screening. Tang Chuan thinks to himself that the demon world is more interesting than he had expected. The demon leader then explains the rules of the test. Assessment content is divided into 5 tests: morality, intelligence, physique, beauty, and courage. If one fails, they will be eliminated. A group of 10 people will enter the venue one by one to accept the assessment, and as for the content of the assessment, they will know when they enter the examination room. If a candidate was discovered to be an undercover agent, their fate would be like the skull in the hand of the demon's leader. The first test is a morality assessment. The content is to examine whether their hearts are cruel enough. The examiner instructs the candidates to flip over the pot on the table and immediately slap the contents under the pot and kill whatever was inside it. The last 3 to do it are regarded as failures. The examiner orders them to flip over their pots. They do so and find cute puppies. Tang Chuan finds a cute puppy in his pot as well. The puppy surprises and melts the hearts of the other demons. It's a Kilile dog, a rare dog, A cute pet that even the demon emperor and empress openly like, popular in 2 words of demon and immortal. As long as you have one, you can become the most shining star in the crowd, and even get priority in choosing a spouse. But Tang Chuan immediately smacks the dog, saying that when will the next assessment start? The cute little dog is squished. The examiner tells him to go out the door on the left, and someone will lead him there. He passed the first taste with an unchanged face. Even the examiner exclaims that he's a scumbag. After he leaves the room, it turns out that before he started, he had seen what was below with his clairvoyant eyes, then used the space replacement spell to exchange the dog for the tomato beef brisket bun. As for the second assessment, intelligence, the examiner states that as a demon cultivator, they must be ruthless and cunning enough to win in the fight against the immortal world. Therefore, this field assessment focuses on testing everyone's scheming. Among the 10 people present, 3 of them possessed pass cards hidden on their bodies. The candidates have to guess who has the pass card, then come and confirm with the examiner. If they guess correctly, they can get the card on him to pass the level. If they don't guess correctly, the person who is still holding the pass card can pass the level after 10 minutes. Each person has only one chance. There are 3 rounds in total, during which no talk or touch is allowed. One of the demons raises his hand and confirms it with the examiner, but she tells him that his choice isn't right. Tang Chuan starts to lip reading, and every time a demon points out his suspected candidate to the examiner, he watches their lips' movements. He thinks to himself that the probability of not being selected in so many rounds is abnormally low. Number 5, number 9, number 8, and number 6 must have people with pass cards. They deliberately go up and guess others to confuse the public. He then expresses suspicion toward one of the candidates, and when the examiner comes closer to hear whom he suspected, he whispers something to her. Hearing this, she shows a surprised reaction. He looks at others' reactions and becomes certain that the number 5 has the card, and declares that he suspects number 5. Number 5 angrily retorts that everyone has only one chance, but Chuan explains that he just said the number right now, and the examiner can help him prove it. The examiner confirms his words as well. Number 5 blames the examiner for exposing his identity, but the examiner tells him that it was he who revealed his identity. And the first thing he said to her was that he is an undercover agent from Immortal World. Tang Chuan passes again. Meanwhile, the powerful figures behind the scenes are looking at him. They admire his tricks and praise him as a rare villain. Tang Chuan moves towards the venue of the third exam, which is physical, but upon reaching there, the guard asks him to please wait because the test is in progress. He's curious about what the taste is, so he decides to investigate. He looks inside the room with his perspective eyes. Inside the room, a number of hot girls are changing clothes. Look at those thighs. God really bless us. Ning Sixing is there as well, and it surprises him. Since ancient times, immortals have paid attention to cleanliness, so there should be no trace of tattoo stains on their bodies. The demon cultivator is just the opposite. He enjoys totems on his body. He likes to engrave his achievements, cultivation, and even family symbols on his body. That's why the demon world chooses this method to identify undercover agents. Tang Chuan thinks that it's really badass. Ning Sixing came here completely unprepared, so he decides to give her a hand. He chants a spell, and the shadow on the ground turns into a snake-like shape. Meanwhile, in the changing room, the examiner is questioning Ning Sixing about her totem. Suddenly, the snake-shaped shadow wraps around her leg and creates a totem. At the same time that she's shocked by this, the totem emits a red light. The examiner asks why she didn't reveal her totem earlier. However, before she can answer, the demon girl says that if you carve that shape on that part, it's understandable that you are ashamed to show it, and other demanders start to laugh at her. Then the guard asks the next batch of demons to enter. While the previous group is leaving and the new group is entering, Tang Chuan whispers as he passes by that he took back the little snake. She realizes that he just saved her. Then it was the male demons' turn to show their totems. One of the muscular male demons shows his totem. This is a giant frost wolf that he killed in the extreme Arctic ice field 30 years ago. But that's not all. There is another male demon that has a big snake totem. This is the blue cloud snake that he hunted and killed under the Black Cloud Valley of Juhua. A muscular big man next to Tang Chuan sneers and asks if he has a little white rabbit on his body that does not dare to show it. All of the demons present in the room laugh. Suddenly Tang Chuan raises his middle finger and shows the totem that is carved on his fingertip. This sarcastic gesture infuriates the muscular man. Although small in size, it's indeed a permanent rune. The totems are composite of spell runes. They are all the top runes that ordinary demon cultivators have been pursuing for a lifetime. The blonde examiner calls him an asshole because of engraving such a noble rune into such an obscene and despicable word. In response, he says, "You flatter me." Then the demon girl asks them to go to the next test center. At the same time, the other totems on the Tang Chuan body are eager to show themselves, but he wants them to shut up, saying that he is here to be an undercover agent and that it's not okay to be too high profile. The guard in front of the fourth assessment room informs the female candidates that they do not need to participate in the fourth session and asks them to come with her and go directly to the fifth session. Ning Sixing is curious why they don't have to. The examiner next to her explains that it's originally meant for double cultivation with men. At this point, a bald, naked man blushingly tries to run away, but the bull demon behind him kills him with one sword strike. Those who do not double cultivate will die. Immortals and demons cannot cultivate together. Otherwise, their cultivation will be lost. This is the rule of heaven. The fourth test is to practice with fox demons to expose the undercover agents. Ning Sixing worries about Tang Chuan. As you guys remember, his main goal was to have a relationship with female demons. As Tang Chuan enters the assessment room, finds fox demons waiting for him seductively.